The news got to the king about what had happened in the market with Ella, the prince and his bodyguards. The king then asked the guards to bring Ella to the palace. He however warned that they should not touch her, so they won't be harmed. The king also sent bodyguards to go bring Ella's parents for questioning. Then he sent another set of his guards to call the priestess Zimona and tell her what had happened. He also told the guards to tell Zimona to find a solution, as the prince's body and his bodyguards cannot lay on the ground in the market. When the guards arrived, they explained the situation to Zimona. Zimona then prepared herbal powder and rubbed it on the guard's body. He then told them that they can now carry the prince and his bodyguards without harm to the palace. When Ella arrived at the palace, she bowed and greeted the king and his son, the handsome prince. The king wasted no time and asked her about what had happened. Ella confessed, saying she is just as surprised as everyone. She said she had no idea how the situation turned to be so. It didn't take long, Ella's parents also arrived at the palace. Zimona and the king's bodyguards also happened to enter the palace at the same time with the prince's body and his bodyguards. The king then explained the situation to Ella's mother and father. He threatened that if the truth is not told, they would all be executed. Ella's mother, Lila, knew that at this point, she could no longer hide the truth. She fell to the ground and began to ask for mercy as she confessed. She told the king about everything that happened between her and the goddess of beauty. When Ella heard this, she was shocked. She was not even sure how to react. Ella's father also didn't believe his wife could go this far to achieve her selfish desires. "I am your husband. Yet you kept this from me for years. Look at the problem you've brought upon our family." Lila's husband said to his wife in pain, disappointment, and sadness. Ella was short of words as tears began to drop from her eyes. The king, after listening to Lila, asked Zimona if anything could be done to save the prince and his bodyguards in order to avoid war with their neighboring village. Zimona was blunt and told the king the truth. She explained that the situation was a very difficult one. She then said that it would have been easier to handle if the curse had not taken effect. However, appeasing the goddess would not be as easy as years had already gone by. Zimona mentioned that the gods hated to be tricked or played for a fool. "We will have to make a human sacrifice, my king," Zimona said. She then added that Lila would be the sacrifice. She said that was the only way to restore balance and break the curse. Everyone was shocked at Zimona's words. Lila fell to the ground and began to cry. Ella covered her mouth in shock. The king, having looked at the face of Ella's family, took pity on them. He asked Zimona if there was no other way to break the curse. Zimona explained that if there was time, she might have been able to find another way, but since war was coming from the other village, there was nothing more she could do. She said that after the sacrifice, the curse would immediately break and the prince and his guards' health would return back to normal. Zimona then told the king that the sacrifice would have to happen very early the next morning. She explained that she and the other priestess have to perform a ritual fast before the sacrifice can be made the following morning. She also said that it was forbidden to appease the goddess of beauty at night. The king told Zimona that there was no problem, that the neighboring would not have arrived by then. He then told them that they can start the preparation. The king ordered Lila to be put in the prison. He then ordered Ella and her father to return home. He also told her to stay away from the villagers so she would not harm them by mistake. When Ella got home, she went to the corner of her hut and began to cry. Her father had used words to comfort her, but that was all he could do. It didn't take long. Tolani came over to comfort Ella. He had gone to the forest and had only got back to hear the unfortunate news. He then decided to come see Ella. By this time, it was already evening. Ella warned Tolani that he should stay far from her, that she could harm him. Tolani replied her saying, "Don't worry. If anyone can hold you, it is I. I am protected," Tolani said as he hugged Ella. Ella was surprised that Tolani could touch her without being harmed. She was very relieved. Ella poured out her heart in tears as she could not bear to lose her mother. Tolani said nothing but just stayed at Ella's side. Tolani told Ella that he may have a way to save her mother without the sacrifice. Ella was shocked. She found it hard to believe Tolani. Tolani explained to Ella that there were special mystical items with power, and some even had the ability to quell the anger of the gods and can be used to appease them. He told Ella that the reason why his mother may not have mentioned it to the king was because the items were so rare and could even take weeks or months to find. By then, the neighboring village would have started a war with them already. Tolani then told Ella that he had one of such mystical items, a celestial crystal. He told Ella that one time, when he went deep into the forest of heavens to get some powerful herbs for his mother, he came across a serpent that was trying to eat a mystical bird. Tolani explained that he was able to help the bird. The bird flew to him and a tear dropped from its eyes. The tears turned into a crystal. Tolani then told Ella that the crystal may be able to appease the goddess of beauty. Tolani felt bad that he had not told his mother about the incident. Maybe then, his mother would not have resorted to planning a sacrifice but would have tried the crystal instead. Ella told Tolani that they should tell Zimona, his mother. Tolani explained that Zimona and the other priestess had already started the sacred preparation for the sacrifice. He explained that interrupting a sacrificial preparation for the gods is highly abominable and disrespectful. He then shocked Ella and told her that the gods find it so offensive and such is punishable by death. Tolani told Ella that they would have to appease the goddess by themselves. He told her that they would leave in the morning before his mother to go make the appeal. Also, they would return back before his mother and the other priestess would be ready to sacrifice Ella's mother. Tolani told Ella that he wants to go make the preparation and that he would come back very early the next morning. Tolani then left. Later, Tolani returned back to meet Ella. This time, there was a worried look on his face. Ella was worried if something had gone wrong with the preparation, as she was expecting Tolani in the morning. Tolani then explained to Ella that there was serious trouble. He told Ella that while he had left her, he saw a horrible vision of the neighboring village destroying their village in the evening of the next day. Ella asked Tolani how that was possible. She said that it would take at least 2 days before the king would arrive at their village. Tolani then explained to Ella that in his vision, he saw that the king and his men passing through a secret shortcut way that nobody knew. He explained that by passing the shortcut they were able to arrive at the village earlier than everyone expected. Tolani told Ella that they can no longer wait till morning to appeal to the goddess. They had to do it at night unless their village could be at war and destroyed the next day. However, appeasing the beauty goddess at night was dangerous. It is forbidden to appeal to the goddess of beauty in the night. Beauty resides in the morning. The sun, the flowers. Everything beautiful can be seen in the day. However, we have no choice. We will call upon the goddess of beauty this night. May the gods favor us, Tolani said. Later that night, Ella followed Tolani to the forest of the heavens. They carried some important items as well as the celestial crystal. After Tolani performed the necessary ritual, he told Ella to bow her head and not to raise it up. He also told Ella to stay behind him. Tolani then called upon the beauty goddess. It didn't take long, thunder struck and the beauty goddess appeared in the form of a giant bird. How dare you summon me at night? The beauty goddess spoke in anger. Tolani begged for forgiveness and told the goddess that he had come to appeal to her. All the while he spoke, Ella did not raise her head. Tolani then told the goddess that he brought the celestial crystal as a gift. The beauty goddess told Tolani that she would accept his gift and that Ella's curse would be gone in 3 days' time. Tolani knew that in 3 days his village would already be destroyed by war. He then continued his plea with the goddess and begged her that the curse should disappear that night. The goddess told Tolani that the celestial crystal was not a gift worthy to make her change her decision. The beauty goddess then told Tolani that he had a gift with him that was worthy to appease her and make her anger quell. Tolani was confused as he knew he didn't bring any other mystical gift. The goddess then told him that the enchanted bead on his hands was a more appealing gift than his celestial crystal. He told him that if he is willing to part with the gift, she would remove Ella's curse immediately and all the effects of the curse would be broken. Tolani then removed the enchanted bead and dropped it before the goddess. Suddenly the goddess' form changed into a beautiful peacock. She then blessed Ella with a covering of protection and told them that they should return. When Tolani got back to the village, he held Ella's hand to see if anything bad would happen to him, but nothing bad did. Tolani then went to the palace and saw that the prince and his bodyguards were now healthy and fine. Tolani then explained everything that happened to the king. In the meantime, the king had apologized to Prince Olu. Prince Olu, being a kind, young man, did not pick offense. He even told the king that if his father, King Maidon, arrives the next day, he would talk to his father not to be angry and that everything was just a misunderstanding. The next day, it came as a shock. It turned out that the vision Tolani saw was real. King Maidon had indeed used a shortcut to enter the village and was with an army. Prince Olu begged his father on behalf of the village that what happened was a misunderstanding. He explained that the village did not mean to harm him but were experiencing some trouble with the gods. King Maidon, seeing that his son was fine, saw that there was no need to attack the village. The king of Morocco village then packaged a whole of gifts, including food items, as a way to apologize for stressing King Maidon and his son, Prince Olu. It didn't take long. King Maidon, his son, and the warriors returned back to their village. As soon as they left, Zimona held a meeting with the king in the palace. Ella and her son was also present there. Zimona told the king that it was a good thing his son, Toloni, had saved the village by seeing a vision and preventing war with the help of the enchanted bead. She, however, explained that the village was not yet free from danger. The king was confused. He didn't understand. Toloni saw a vision with the help of the enchanted bead and also gifted the bead to the goddess to save the village. Also, there was no need to sacrifice Lila since Prince Olu and his father, King Maidon, had gone peacefully out of the village. Zimona then had to tell the king something that only she, the high priestess, knew. Zimona explained to the king that the enchanted bead was a relic of protection and not just a regular form of charm. She added that the bead was even more rare and powerful than most spiritual items. Zimona explained that hundreds of years ago, the founder of the village encountered a problem. She explained that because the village was very close to the forest of heavens, evil spirits and creatures would disturb the peace of the land. Desperate to save his land, Okium and his wife sought out enchanted bead deep inside the forest of heavens. There they got the magical enchanted bead. Zimona then said that as long as the bead was within the village, no form of evil creature could come and dwell. That was the secret behind the peacefulness of the village for hundreds of years. Zimona said that Okium's wife was the only one that returned back to the village. She became the first high priestess and passed down the secret of the enchanted bead to next high priestess. That was how the bead had been passed down till it got to her time. It was a difficult and overwhelming story to take in. As Toloni heard the story, he now understood why the bead was able to protect him from Ella's curse and why the goddess instantly granted him his wish despite the fact that he summoned her in the night. Zimona explained to everyone that they would need to get another enchanted bead from the heart of the forest in order for the village to be safe. She added that she had to stay behind to protect the village of anything evil attacks. Toloni then told his mother that he would not mind going to look for the bead in order to save the village. Zimona told her son that she would fortify him for the mission. The king then told Zimona that 10 of the strongest warriors would accompany Toloni to the forest. Zimona then told the king that Ella needed to follow Toloni and the bodyguards to the dark forest. She explained that since Ella had been blessed by the beauty goddess and no longer cursed, it would be good for them. She explained that sinister creatures would see that Ella has been blessed by the goddess and so many would not want to harm or get close to her. Ella was happy that she could follow Toloni to the forest and be of help to him. Toloni has sacrificed so much for her and she wanted to be with him, even now that there was more danger. Soon it was time. Ella, Toloni, and the bodyguards prepared and started their journey inside the forest. Inside the forest, the group saw many creatures of various kinds. Most didn't get close to them because of Zimona fortification and Ella's presence. The few that decided to attack, Toloni and the guards easily subdued them. Soon, They arrived at a place where they needed to cross a stream to the other side of the forest. Tolani told the bodyguards that they should do away with their weapons. He told them that they should not cross the river with it. He and Ella then crossed past the river. The bodyguards, who were not quite convinced of Tolani's words, decided to cross the rivers with their weapons. They wanted to hold their weapons in case of more danger. However, as they did, they all suddenly disappeared. As Ella turned back and saw what happened, she was confused and became afraid. Tolani then told her that the warriors were fine and that they had vanished back to the village. He explained that the river was a mysterious river that would only allow someone to cross if they are not holding any weapon of any kind. Tolani then told Ella that they should continue their journey. After some time, they both arrived at the sacred place where they would get the bead. A creature's head suddenly sprung up from the ground and spoke. Ella was afraid of the creature, but Tolani held her. The creature told them that he meant no harm and wants to reward them with the enchanted bead of protection as they had come this far. However, the creature told Ella and Tolani that someone must become a sacrifice and would not return back to the village. The creature said that hundreds of years ago, Okum and his wife came to seek the enchanted bead. However, they had to be a sacrifice, so Okum sacrificed himself and his wife became the high priestess after she returned back to the village. You both have to decide. And you have to decide fast. The creature said as it stared at them with its large scary eyes. Tolani knew what he had to do. He confessed his love for Ella and told her to return back to the village. He said he doesn't mind sacrificing his life to save her and the village. Ella fell to the ground and began to cry. "Tell my mother that I love her," Tolani said. "I can't let you do this. I love you. I don't want you to die," Ella said in tears. As she was still crying, a voice spoke from behind. "Don't worry. I will be the sacrifice." The voice spoke. It was the voice of a human. Ella and Tolani turned back and saw that the person behind was Lila, Ella's mother. Ella was shocked. Lila walked up to Ella and Tolani and told them what happened. She told them that she begged Zimona to fortify her so she could come into the forest and look for them. Lila said that she wanted to make sure both of them were safe and also own up to her fault and mistake. Ella held her mother and both of them began to cry. "Please forgive me, my child," Lila said. "I was never angry at you, mother. I love you," Ella said in tears. "I have to take responsibility for my mistake," Lila said as she turned her gaze to Tolani. "Tolani, thank you for all you have done for me. You are a good man. Please take care of my daughter," Lila said. She then walked up to meet the creature. The enchanted bead of protection then magically appeared in front of Tolani. Tolani picked up the bead. Suddenly, the creature and Lila vanished into thin air. Ella watched in tears as her mom disappeared. Tolani held Ella and comforted her. He knew there was no way he could have saved everyone. And so that was how Lila's story became a tale. When Tolani and Ella got to the village, they told the king what had happened. Soon, everyone in the village knew about what happened to Lila. Her story became a lesson for everyone. It was also a tale of redemption and symbolized the mother's love for her child. The king then made a decree and abolished the festival where the maidens in the land had to be put together for the prince to marry the most beautiful. He realized that beauty lied in the heart and not the appearance of a person. Time passed as Ella and Toloni became wedded and were now a couple in the village. Everyone attended their feast and the king gave them his blessings. He also told them that their families would always have a place in the palace for generations to come, as a way of honoring Lila's sacrifice. This is the end of our beloved tale. Please like, share and subscribe to Folktale for more interesting stories. Till we meet again.